Hello everybody, and welcome back to Live, Laugh, Love Sosa, where all we do is have a good time. I'm your host, Cameron Murphy, and today we have a very special episode with a very special guest. To the right of me, I have my good friend, John.
Hello there, guys. Yes, I know my voice is high-pitched. That's just how it is, you know? It's going good, though, you know? How are you doing there, Ken?
I'm doing pretty good, you know. It's been a good weekend, you know. My fantasy football team has been going off. Actually, last week in economics.
What the heck is economics?
Well, John, economics is the study of how people make decisions based on their unlimited wants and limited resources. So kind of how I wanted Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Dalvin Cook, but I could only get Dalvin because there was unlimited wants, but there was just limited people to take, right? Yeah, I'd say you have the basic idea down.
So, who else did you have on your fantasy team? Because my league is in a lot of conflict right now. Because I actually traded for Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill. And they actually gave them to me. I'm not going to lose now.
Dang, John. That's a stacked lineup you have there. I don't think you probably won't even lose a game. Except your bye week, of course. But yeah, my team, it's alright. It could be better, you know. I could trade up, I guess.
Ooh, looks like somebody didn't get some good draft picks.
You know, John, for a little dude, you cause a lot of conflict.
You know, Cam, speaking of conflict, you know, earlier when you brought up economics and how it's like unlimited wants, unlimited resources, it kind of got me thinking. And like when you just said conflict there, it just popped. You know, and I feel like there's some sort of connection there.
You know, John, you bring up a really good point there. And yes, you are right. You see, economic goals are often conflicting because of scarcity of resources.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense.
And one goal is accomplished at the opportunity cost of another. For example, in our fantasy league, I could go for a 3-stack, like triple running back core, right? I could go CMC, Christian McCaffrey, right? And then maybe I'd pick up Kamara, and then maybe I'd pick up Austin Eckler. But the opportunity cost of that would be going for a triple stack receiving core, or maybe a triple stack team core like Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek, and Travis Kelce, like you said you had earlier.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like, how would it apply in like the real world, though?
Well, John, that is a wonderful question. And I think I have just the answer. See, most economists are convinced that there is a short-run trade-off between inflation and unemployment. And the closer the economy gets to full employment, the greater the probability of encountering accelerated inflation. You get what I'm saying here, John?
A little bit. Can you explain it a little more?
Yeah, I got you, John. I got you. You see, economic growth can conflict with the environment. You see, urban sprawl, congestion, garbage, and air pollution are all examples of the costs associated with growing economies and regions. I understand it now. But like, how are these gonna be resolved? Like, what is the solution to this? John, I don't know what it is, but you have some wonderful questions today. And I love answering your questions, John. Okay, so to resolve the conflicting nature of these economic decision making, economists are guided by the marginal benefit equals marginal cost principle. Now, that is something that is worth doing in economics as long as the marginal benefit is greater than or equal to the marginal cost of doing it. If the marginal cost exceeds that marginal benefit, then it's just not worth doing. Understandable. Can you give me another example again? Because, like, I know I've asked for a lot, but, like, please. Yeah, John, I got you. You see, an example would be using economic policy to reduce unemployment is worth doing so long as the costs of inflation are minimal. Now, economic growth is desirable when it benefits to a society in the form of more production and jobs are greater than its associated costs. I really like learning about this new stuff, especially on this podcast, man. It makes me feel so smart. Well, John, you should feel smart, Those questions you ask, only someone smart would ask those questions, and you did. You're pretty smart there, John. Not gonna lie. Thank you. I try my best. Is there anything else you would like to know about economics, John?
Well, yesterday at the gym, I heard you talking to this dude about, like, factors of, like, productivity or something.
Oh, you mean factors of production?
Yeah, that's it. What are they?
Well, John, the broad explanation, I'll give it to you like this. So, the factors of production are resources that are the building blocks of the economy. Now, they are what people use to produce goods and services. And economists, they divide these factors of production into 4 categories. And those are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship.
I guess that makes a little sense, but what do those 4 categories even mean?
Well, the first factor of production is land. Now, this includes any natural resource you can think of that's used to produce goods and services. And that doesn't mean it's just land, but anything that comes with the land, right? Some common land or natural resources, right? There's water, oil, copper, natural gas, coal, forests, and so much more. Whoa, that's a lot to take in. I know, and that's only the first factor.
Okay, now explain the other 3.
You got it, John. Now, the second factor is labor. Now, labor is the effort that people contribute to the productions of goods and services. Now, that labor resource could include work done by the waiter who brings your food at a local restaurant, but could also be the engineer who designed the bus that transports you to school. See, it includes an artist's creation of a painting, as well as the work of the pilot flying the airplane overhead. If you have ever been paid for a job, you have contributed labor resources to the production of goods and services. The income earned by labor resources is called wages, and it's the largest source of income from... Whoa! I didn't know any of this. It's so amazing. Wow. Teach me more. You got it, boss. Okay, so the third factor is capital. Now, think of capital as the machinery, tools, and buildings humans use to produce goods and services. Now, some of these common examples could include hammers, forklifts, conveyor belts, computers, delivery vans. Capital differs based on the worker and the type of work being done. And an example of that is a doctor may use a stethoscope on an examination room to provide medical services. Your teacher may use textbooks, desks, and a whiteboard to produce education services. Whoa. There's one more, right? Yes, Jonathan. There is one more. This fourth factor is entrepreneurship. Now, an entrepreneur is a person who combines the other factors of production, land, labor, and capital to earn a profit. Now, the most successful entrepreneurs are innovators who find new ways to produce goods and services, or who develop new goods and services to bring to market. Now, without that entrepreneur combining land, labor, and capital in new ways, many of the innovations we see around us, they just wouldn't exist. Just think of entrepreneurship of Henry Ford or Bill Gates. Entrepreneurs are a vital engine of economic growth, helping to build some of the largest firms in the world, as well as some of the small businesses in your very own neighborhood. Wow. I'm so flabbergasted right now, because what I'm hearing, it's so new and something I've just never heard, and I wish I could learn so much more about it. Well, John, you can always learn more about this topic, and I'm always here to help you out, always. Really? Yeah, you know it, my guy. So economics kind of sounds like it would be like a math, maybe? Well, John, economics isn't math, but there is a lot of math in economics. So does that mean they use graphs? Yes, actually, John. That's very clever. The graph that we use in economics is a PPF, or Production Possibility Frontier. How does this graph work? Well, like any other graph, you have an x-axis and a y-axis. Now, for this example, I'm going to use in economics what we call guns and butter, which generally refers to the dynamics involved in a federal government's allocations to defense versus social programs when deciding on a budget. Now, just like any other graph, you have your units. Now, on the x-axis, we're going to put consumer goods, and we're going to put every 20. So the unit's going to be 20, so we're going to have 0, 20, 40, 60, and so on. Now, on the y-axis, we're going to have military goods. Same unit, 20s going up. Now, let's say for every 160, and this is in billions of units per year. Let's say the military is at 160 million, and the consumer goods are at 100 million. Now, what it would look like is a curved line from that 160 to 100, and on one side, on the right side, you would have what we call an unattainable point, which is just unreachable under any circumstances. On the left or bottom, you would have an inefficient point. And these points are attainable, but they are not using the resource at the fullest. It's a little hard to stand, but I think I'll get there. Why is the line curved? Why is it not like going straight though? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That is another excellent question there, John. Well, the reason it is always drawn as a curve and not a straight line is because there is a cost involved in making a choice. When the quantity of one good produced is higher, then the quantity of the other is low. This is known as opportunity cost, which earlier I told you is like when I could go for that triple stack running back, but the opportunity cost of that would be going for a triple threat wide receiver core or a triple threat team core, which is what you said you have. Oh, that makes a lot of sense now. I really am starting to understand this whole economics thing. I knew you'd get it, John. I'm proud of you, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate you teaching me all this stuff. You know, it's a shame that we're going to have to end it right here because it's getting pretty late. And I have to get to my doctor's appointment. I forgot that was today? Yeah, I have to leave. Well, I guess that's a wrap, folks. See you later, Jonathan, and everybody at home watching. I hope you're having a good day. Stay safe. Peace out.